Thank you very much. Ah, love. Love, love, love. Isn't it an amazing thing? Right? Right? Eh, Wrong. Wrong. Love is horrible. Imagine two people walking down the street. They suddenly look at each other. And as you might have guessed, this is love from first sight. The loving couple start dating each other. They are spending much more and more time with each other. They are texting almost every spare moment they have. But after some time, one side decides to back off a little bit. Maybe is becoming busier. Maybe they don't have enough time for texting. And this leaves the other side confused. They're thinking to themselves, oh, why didn't they text me? They must be cheating or something. Even though they were just tired from working, this leads immediately to a downward spiral in the relationship. Both sides becomes angrier and angrier, envy and jealous. And as soon as one single week, the relationship ends. This is the cost of love. Love is toxic. It's like junk food. At the beginning, it tastes fantastic. But as soon as you get more of it, you start to want it less and less. But the moment you stop having it, the moment you don't eat more junk food, the moment it ends, you're craving for more. It's absurd. But this is how love works. Love is an addiction. Just think about Romeo and Juliet. Those loving couple, they were willing to bet their life, to kill themselves, and only not to not be together, meaning they would rather die than being alone with each other. And this is dangerous. We must stop love. And you know what? I actually made this story all up. Yep, it's all made up. Story. This is a story. And the word story, it's an important one because we as humans view the world through stories. Just think about all the stories and your beliefs. Each one of your beliefs, even the religious belief, they are all based on stories. Think about all the biblical stories about Moses and Exodus. Think about Jesus, Muhammad. Those are all stories. Whether we believe them or not, it's our choice. So, as you probably guessed, stories have huge power. Just as I proved with religions, people live by stories. They are killing for stories, and they die because of stories. When you tell a story, you possess the power of life and death with your own mouth. We can think about stories as paintings. Think about the words as the outline, and watch what you are saying, how you say, the pace, the volume, your emphasis. Those are all colors. They make a boring, futile story to an interesting, meaningful, and vivid one. Those are the colors of our painting. To sum up, I want to remind you that love is not just good or bad. It's not true or false. It's what we believe it to be. We have a crazy amount of power and influence with our stories. Life and death are in our own hands. And when you think about stories, when you tell a story, you need to think to yourself, not only what you're going to say, but how it transfers, how your message really impacts. So think about it in the next time you're telling a story, not just what, but how. Let me repeat it. Not just what, but how. Thank you very much, and back to you, Valerie.
Okay, I'm gonna take that. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Wow, I love all these expressions. You really convinced me that you don't like love. It's amazing. Great, great approach. Very, very good. Yes, excellent. Everybody's clapping. We're like clapping. And let me see. I think we just have our guest joining. I know this is not like a regular meeting today, but hi, Anna, how are you? Would you like to put your camera on?
Yes. Hi, Lana. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Ah, we have music. Oh, hold on. It's my timer because I put a timer on
Uh,
right on time. So, Ina, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? We're in our meeting, but it's a special meeting today. It's different order, but we don't want
yes.
to forget about you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Ina. I am right now located in Seattle, Washington. I'm originally from India, and I moved to States almost 10 years ago now, so it's been a while. And I've known Juana since my first job here in US. uh, and currently I'm working as a senior product manager at T-Mobile in US. And um, as a hobby or in my spare time, I like to do multiple stuff. I have been learning Kathak, which is like a Indian classical dance, since 2 years now. I also have a dog, which I love and play around. So I think those are like two of my favorite things to do on the weekend.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome, Ina. We are in the middle of our meeting right now, and I apologize because I was thinking Mexico time, not US time,
Yes, I think I
Pacific
went through your
time.
message and it was like 7 a.m. PST, so I was sticking to 7 a.m. PST.
No, I apologize, but it's okay. We're gonna continue with the meeting, and let me just gonna continue sharing my screen. I am the Toastmaster of the day, so the way it works is that we pick a theme, and then we go with the theme during the meeting. Amit just did his speech, which I'm so sorry you missed because it was really good. But we're gonna continue. I'm just gonna share a little bit of information about the theme for today, and then I'm going to pass it into the next section. So let me just bear with me here. And I'm going to share my screen. Let me know when you can see it very quickly. And you can mute yourself. Ina, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to continue with our vocabulary words. So in this case, what about the word help? We all use the basic word help. You want to increase our vocabulary, then instead of help, we can say assist. Can you assist me? Can you support? Can you facilitate? So we're just trying to, and Ina, just to catch you up on this, the theme for today is say it better. So we're trying to elevate our English vocabulary, so it will help us with our speeches. But in general, in terms of being a Toastmaster, we want to make sure that we increase our communication skills, we improve them. So that's what we're trying to. Our club, the majority of us, English is not our first language. So that's what also we're trying to like provide additional vocabulary words that make us sound more eloquent into our speech. Okay, next word, let's see, start. We can use commence, initiate, launch. Remember to pick two that you you think that you use a lot, and then start changing and start using the new suggestions. You might know other suggestions, by the way. You might be more advanced of the suggestions that I'm giving you, and that's fine. You want to just can share on the chat as well. End, the word end, conclude, finalize, wrap up. Make sure, we can say ensure, verify, confirm. Show, demonstrate, illustrate, reveal, think about. We use this one a lot. Let me think about, well, let me consider this, reflect on, contemplate. I like to reflect on. It really makes us sound better. I know when you're not used to sound, it might sound a little different, but it's gonna make you sound better. Big, substantial, significant, major. Okay. And then I'm going to just the last one, okay? Because I'm almost finished with everyone, with all of this. Small, minor, modest, limited. Okay. All right. So now we're going to pass into our next section, which is our table topics. And I know our Toastmaster, Bruce, is going to be leading our table topics for today. So I'm going to pass it in to Bruce. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster Juana. As you all know that speaking well in front of a group of people is very important, especially that you are not prepared. And in this section, you will be given the chance to practice that ability so that you can use it in your real life. And in this section, everyone is encouraged to participate. And usually for a mini speech, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to give your answer to a one question. And usually you will see the green color at 1 minute and 1.5 at a yellow color. And after that, you will see red color. But still, you have 30 seconds for the grace time to wrap up your speech. Since today we are running late, and I will only provide 4 questions. And today our meeting theme is Say It Better. And I just want to know if you are interested in answering any of the questions, you can volunteer yourself, okay? Now let's begin. Any volunteer? If no, I will call on some. Okay, hold on. Thank you. Okay, your question. What does say it better mean to you? And how can you improve communication to impact your work or personal relationship?
If you take again the second part of the question, thank you.
How can you improve communication and make it impact your work and a personal relationship?
Thank you very much, Mr. Topic Master. Say it better. I believe that when we hear the word itself, it actually gives us the head-ups that we have to think through what we are saying and how we want it to be viewed as. And when I say that, I don't mean how people see it, but is what we are saying coming to the other person. And for me, that is what communication is for me. What I want to say, if that reaches to you, then I believe that I have communicated a good way. But despite of how I say it, if it does not come to you, then that is where the bad communication or miscommunication comes in, I believe. And it's because whenever we are trying to say something, we are saying it for a reason. We do not speak just to speak, right? So in any occasion, I believe for me, communication first is clear and has a purpose. And then it also in a way that's eloquent and gives the meaning to the other person as well. So that's what it is for me. But it also, in another side, whenever I hear the word "say it better," it gives me a pressure. I have to think through, and that will make my words like stuck. Am I saying the right thing? Am I saying how I want and all of that? Communication is also, I would say, there was this actually girl I have talked about. I have talked about her before, where she said a lot of people try to reach to me, and I do not have that much time. And whenever I am reading it, instead of people giving me a ton of compliment or saying good words about me or about my work, I would love them to be direct on the point. And that she said, she used this phrase, a clear communication is a kinder gesture to me. And I have always carried that in my heart. A clear communication is a kinder gesture to everyone we meet, and we should always strive for that. So thank you for the question, and back to you, Bruce.
Thank you very much, Hudan. And yeah, you're right. And clear communication is very important, especially if it is with a purpose and just avoid any misunderstanding. Thank you. Now let's call on another volunteer. How about our guest, Ina? Do you want to take one?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, your question. In what ways does active listening contribute to saying things better? In what ways does active listening contribute to saying things better?
Thank you for the question. In my personal opinion, I believe active listening is very important. A, to understand the tone of the conversation. B, to understand what is being asked at that particular moment. I think if you are a good listener and you can apprehend what is being asked of you, you can respond accordingly. Sometimes there are things which we don't understand. There might be words which we don't know the meaning about. And in case we are listening to them correctly, we can either ask, in our communication, ask back the questions to clarify, or we can also try and note them down and get back to them later. Therefore, I believe active listening is a major part of communication, because communication is not just going to be one way, and listening would not just mean I listen and then just stop. It would also mean communicating back, asking questions, clarifying them, and then responding accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ina. Yeah, that makes much sense. Communication is about two sides, not one single side. Thank you. Any volunteer? We only have another 2 questions now. How about Davida? Okay, and your question is, what tools or techniques, like storytelling or structured frameworks, help you communicate complex ideas more efficiently?
Thank you, Mr.
What tools or... Okay,
Sorry, go on. So go on.
I just want to repeat. And what
Okay.
tools or techniques help you communicate better? I can see that. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master, and good afternoon, everybody on the call. When it comes to communicating, one thing that helps me structure my speech more effectively, or one technique that helps me do that, is the list of 3. Having 3 points to reference as one speaks. So firstly, you would need to be clear about what the topic is. And then secondly, you need to quickly brainstorm on possible points. And thirdly, you'll need to prioritize your points to make sure that you can direct your communication to hit the point, to show that you've been listening effectively. So for me, that's one of the simplest techniques that anybody can employ and start sounding more professional as a speaker. Thank you. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you
Table
very
Topic.
much, David. Yeah, I think everyone can learn from that. Clear for your communication, clear, brainstorm, and then prioritize. And okay, we just need one more speaker here. Any volunteer?
Patrick has raised his hand twice, Bruce,
Okay,
in
okay,
case you didn't
Patrick.
see.
Sorry for missing that. Okay, your question, Patrick. How do you handle misunderstandings? And what
Mhm.
strategies help you reset a conversation?
Yeah, just give me a second. Spin up my. How do I handle misunderstandings?
Yeah, and
How
what
do
strategies help you reset
I
a
got it.
conversation?
I got it. How do I handle misunderstandings and what strategies? Well, that's a tricky question. I believe it really depends upon the other person's attitude and my intention. I mean, if of course, when we try to communicate with others, whether it's basic communication or if we're giving a proposal, I would hope that our intentions are sincere and that we're humble when we present our ideas, when we communicate. If the other person misinterprets or if the other person's very sensitive, I suppose it depends upon respect. If they respect me, but they politely misinterpret or disagree with what I have to say, then if the person's polite, then I will be polite back to them. So basically, give and take. If a person is intentionally rude, I will have to really bite my tongue. And I think that's one tip I give, is to actually bite your tongue, listen, nod your head, and smile. Bite your tongue, listen, nod your head, and smile. Yes, yes, yes. In Korean language is ne. Ne means yes. Ne, ne. Yes, yes. And you know what? Sometimes the other person doesn't like it. It drives them crazy. Too bad. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for sharing your opinion on that. And actually, recently I also watched some videos about that, from those motivational speakers. They say silence is the best fight back to that, rudeness or something. Okay. But overall, thank you very much for joining. Now I will just go back to Juana. Back to you.
Thank you, Bruce, our table topics master for today. Great questions, great answers, great advice from all of you. I'll take what Patrick said and we're going to bite the tone. That's excellent. And excellent. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move to our second section of the day, where we're going to go into our evaluation. So just to remind you, as we have new members or guests, during our club, we have our first section where we have prepared speeches. Then we move to our table topics, which is our time to present and speak. Then we move to our evaluation. This is where we learn and we get feedback about the participation of all of us about the meeting. So we're going to pass it to our general evaluator for today, which is our President Valerie. So Valerie, please take the floor.
Thank you so much.
Today, so now we're starting evaluation section. And I would like us, before we continue with evaluation, is to vote for best table topic speaker, and I launched the poll right now. So please choose. Oh, sorry, that must be some misunderstanding here. Let me just correct that. I will launch it just later. And in this section, we're gonna go through the meeting, through all positions we had in the meeting, and everyone will get a feedback how they performed in the meeting and some suggestion how to do this role better next time. And the first part will start with individual evaluator, and I would like to ask Bruce to take the floor to evaluate Amit's speech. Please, everyone, welcome Bruce.
Thank you very much, Valerie. Hello, Amit. Congratulations to you for finishing another speech. And you're working on motivational strategy level 1, evaluation and feedback. And this speech is to test you how you apply those feedbacks you received in your previous speech. And definitely I have to say that your speech satisfied the requirement for your last speech, the requirements. Because what you told me that the feedback you received for the last speech was about eye contact, vocal variety, and also present your speech without looking at your script. And I will just start from the beginning. And I am very impressed by your composure and your pace of speaking. Especially throughout your speech, I didn't see any panic in you, and you remained composed throughout that. That is the best quality I can say for a great speaker. Can you imagine that if a speaker standing on a stage, they feel panicking, they don't know what to do? Okay, that's a disaster, but you did it well. And also the pace, and you remained the whole speech was very fluent, and I think the pace were very good. You either neither too fast nor too slow. I like that pace. And also I like the message you delivered. And I feel you said love is not about good or bad. It's about what we believe it to be. I think it's very philosophical, right? Another thing that you mentioned, love is not just what, but how. I like it. Now let's go to the objectives of your speech. Like I mentioned, this speech is for you to apply those feedbacks and for your eye contact. And I think throughout the speech, you connected the audience very well, very engaging, especially you capture the audience attention by looking or interact with the audience with your eye contact. Especially on online environment is super important. Unlike on the stage, you can just look around, but it's so significant when you look at a camera or not, because the audience can only receive your eyesight, their or attention through the camera. This is very good. And a vocal variety, and you intended to design a part to mimic a story at the beginning of your speech to show your voice modulation. And I see the effort you put there to show how you can just integrate your vocal variety there. And for the third point, present without looking at a script. For the majority of the time, I think you did good, but still occasionally you look down a little bit, and I think you are glancing at a script. But overall, you did great, and just congratulations for accomplishing such a milestone in your speech. And I'm looking forward to your next speech. Now get back to you, Valerie.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much for your evaluation and pointing out what the good part, what was we have to improve. That's a great way of doing it, sandwich method. Thank you for applying that. Thank you. Now we are moving on, and as I promised, I'm going to launch the poll of best table topic speaker, and it comes right now. Just let me. Oh, sorry. Just
launch. Yes, now it's correct one. Please hold for your best table topic speaker, and we will move on. And I would like to ask our table topic evaluator, Patrick, to evaluate the table topic section.
Thank you very much, Valerie. Bruce, very good job with only 4 questions. I think it's more challenging when you have only a few questions to ask. You did a very good job in the beginning outlining the theme and the conditions of how to participate in the table topics. And the questions were connected with the theme, of course. They were kind of philosophical, maybe a little serious. To improve, I probably would have, you had 4 questions, I probably would have had at least one lighthearted question, not so serious, to kind of soften the mood. Hold on, I really like that expression, head up style. Ina's answer was very logical, practical. Davida, you gave 3 tips. It's always good when you give a takeaway. Time-wise, I believe from watching the background colors, I think most people, all participants were within their time by looking at that. Okay, good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Yes, I can confirm that every speaker in table topics was within the times frame. So well done on that one. So now we're moving on, and I would like to ask Juana as our grammarian to present her report. Please welcome Juana.
Thank you, Valerie. I think overall, I didn't see anything that really stand out from my end. The only feedback that I want to share is the and those words, that the filler words that I noticed. I didn't count individually, but I think just want to remind everyone to be aware of that, to just breathe, take a pause. And another thing that I noticed is that we're repeating, instead of having a filler word, we are repeating 2 words because we're catching up with what we're trying to say. So we're repeating ourselves. So let's be mindful of that. Several of our members say that. So let's just make sure that we are, like right now, just pause. If we cannot find the words, silence is better. So let's be mindful of that because we're repeating. Okay. So yeah, let's make sure, especially in this in your speech, or when we're evaluating or participating, not repeating the words. Just pause. Nobody will say anything. Okay? I think that's the best advice for right now. So thank you so much, and back to you, Valerie, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you for your reminder about filler words. This is a hard part. I feel this is the hardest for me, at least. I always try to squeeze all those small things, but they are disturbing. They are disturbing our audience. They are taking focus away from our message. So think about it. Pause is the best. And now I would like to ask our timer to give a report. And the timer today is me. So let me just change my head. Thank you, General Evaluator. Timer report is as follows. We had the prepared speeches, which was from 5 to 7 minutes, and Amit timing is 6:10. Then we had table topics, and the timing for table topic speeches from 1 to 2 minutes, and then you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. And Hudan has 2:25, Ina 2:03, Davida 2:05, and Patrick sharp 2 minutes. which means everyone within time limit. Congratulations, everyone, for keeping the time. Evaluation. Here we have 3 minutes for individual evaluation, and Bruce have 3:15, which is within time frame, so you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Patrick, evaluation of table topics, 1:50, and I sincerely apologize for Juana. I forgot to time you when you were given grammarian report. So that concludes my report for today as a timer. Back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you, timer. So I would like to give a general evaluation of this meeting. Today we had a little bit different meeting than what we usually have. We started with election and we completed it within actually really good timing, since I had the timer as well. It was brilliant, and thank you and congratulations everyone to taking a role. Thank you for that. Even though we had a squeezed meeting, we had a different agenda, we still managed to have 3 sections. We had prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. Very well done, and thank you for everyone who jumped in the role and who was flexible to change roles during the meeting. Thank you for that. As my suggestion for our club is to think about the agenda in advance and fill up the agenda at least in the beginning of the week, so we all have time to prepare for our roles. And I think now we have mastered them enough. Now we have to focus more in improving, to find different ways of conducting our roles, add some twist, add some visuals, add some new things. So that would be the challenge for the team and our club from me as a general evaluator today. With that, I would like to thank you everyone participating in this meeting, and I will give back the microphone to Toastmaster of the Day, Juana. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Valerie. Thank you so much. I'm just going to share my screen for the last part of our meeting. So just going to finish with 2 more words. Easy, straightforward, simple, effortless. So you notice how Valerie, he did his general evaluation. It was straightforward, the way he did it. And now, oh, I thought I had 2 more. Did I miss one? Wait a minute, 1 second. Oh, hard, challenging, difficult, demanding. So yes, if we don't get all the roles filled out at the beginning of the week, it becomes very challenging, very difficult, very demanding on the beginning of the meeting to fill all those roles. All right, so this is what I want to suggest to close the meeting right now, is to give you call to action here. It's just to use these words every time you can. So I suggest that I will share the deck at the end of the meeting on our Slack and our WhatsApp chat, so you can review. And then the other thing is listen. When you listen others, and remember, Bruce had this question in the table topics about how important is listening. When you listen to others, catch the basic words when people say those, and start in your mind, start replacing them for the other words. I think that's a very good exercise, because you're going to notice a lot of people saying those basics, I think, and immediately you change it in your mind to the other words that you can actually use. That's a good exercise. In fact, when we talk about the filler words, I use that too when I'm in meetings or listening to other people and they're doing the I make it even more conscious not to do that. So in this case, now start doing the same thing with the basic words. So that's just suggestion, and just want to say thank you. And the last message that I want to share with you is that the reason why we are suggesting these words is because this is not about sounding fancy. I think it's because when you really change those words and you find them with intention, it's going to help you to really choose the words that is going to help with the message to be more clear, to be more powerful, and also to choose them when the moment is more appropriate and it's going to make you more effective in communication. I think that's the big message that I wanted just to pass on today for the meeting. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you. And like I said, my mission now is going to give you a list of at least 10 words, basic words with options every week, and we continue building into that vocabulary. And I suggest that this is a homework every week. You want to be a Toastmaster, you want to be a better communicator, let's increase our vocabulary. Let's keep doing it. This is a ongoing work that we have to continue doing it, especially if English is not our first language. So thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to pass it to our president, Valerie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Juan. It was a great topic. I really enjoyed. And thank you for practical suggestion what we can do. It's and practice is the one thing that will actually do something to us. Or if you want to improve, you need just to practice, and then you can polish it. So please use the advice Juana gave us today and use those words and see how it will change your communication. So now we can close the meeting, but before we do that, I have a couple of things to do. And the first one is I would like you to vote for best facilitator of this meeting. And the poll is coming right now. So please choose the best facilitator of this meeting who you think done the job best today. So don't hold your vote for yourself, just share it with the club. And while we are voting for the best facilitator of this meeting, I would like to ask our guest Ina to tell us about your experience today. Is it something you expected? Any surprises or anything you feel about this meeting? Please welcome Ina.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, first of all, joining that late. So I think I missed a bigger chunk of it. But yeah, absolutely enjoyed this experience. I think this is something I would say which is exactly on my mind. As Juana mentioned, since I'm not a primary speaker of English, I do try to improve it every day. And as I said, communication is a greater key to success. And so every part of it, clear communication, active listening, which we mentioned about, using the correct words, right words, and how do they land to the listener who's listening to you. All of them impact. And improvement is something that I am looking forward for, and that is why this opportunity definitely shines out for me. And I'm really excited about it. And from today's experience, I do believe that this is exactly what I'm looking forward for.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. And you have a great skill already. So I think if you join us a couple of more times, you will join our club, then you will have a chance to exercise it and polish in the way you would like to polish your communication skill. So please come to us, and we are a beginner-friendly club. We have a lot of experience, Toastmasters like Patrick, like Bruce, who can guide you through the journey. And then we have other Toastmasters who have been with the club for a while, Hudan, Juana, Davida, and myself. We can also give tips and hints how we overcome our challenges. So hopefully you can grow with us in your own pace. Thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure. All right, and now the last part is to announce our best performers of this meeting. And I will start with the best speaker of the day, and we had one speaker today, but nevertheless, it was a great speech. Amit, thank you so much for sharing your story. I really enjoy it, and you are the best speaker of the day. Thank you. And the best evaluator of individual evaluator is our great Bruce. Thank you for very good evaluation and giving all improvement points and all those good points that Amit used in his speech. So now we are moving on in the best table topic speaker. And here I would like everyone to give a round of applause to best table topic speaker. And please clap your hands. And today's best table topic speaker is Ina. Congratulations, Ina. Well done. Well done. It was a deep, great speech. Thank you so much. And now I would like to give a round of applause to best facilitator of this meeting. And everyone join me. Best facilitator of this meeting is Tuana. Thank you. Thank you for doing a great job as a Toastmaster of the day. With that, I would like to say big thank you to everyone for joining us today on this Saturday evening, morning, afternoon. And I wish you a great weekend, and I will see you on Saturday next week. So thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.